Hello and welcome back, everybody. My name is Lucas. This is Lucas G Variety, and we are the Band of Blades actual play. This is the Band of Blades, the Immortals, our campaign. And today marks, of course, the date of May the 26th of 2022, and I believe our episode numero 22 itself. Yep. Frontline for Fort Calisco is what we'll call this one. And we're going to pick up where we left off last time, which is, I think, starting into our camp phase. Anyways, my name is Lucas. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you also, I want to say right away, for the following, Faded Quill Gaming. Thank you for the follow that you gave right away. I appreciate it. All that stuff, all the follows, the lurking, and the donations and cheer bits go right back to the channel. It really encourages us, helps us, gets the equipment and the PDFs bought, and everything else.
Fire's burning.
And I'd like to also say right over this guy, too, the overlays left or my right is Soundwave's Ghost. He is all the way from Cybertron, but don't let that fool you. It is still his birthday. They celebrate birthdays there too. So happy birthday! Don't expect any bonuses unless you
all the bonuses.
Expect no bonuses unless you pay for them with cheer bits and use them yourself. So you go ahead and spend your birthday money here. Anyways, first Bandit Blade stream that Faded Quill Gaming is joining. Looking forward to watching us. So, well, thank you for joining and. We came off the action last time, and actually I think Charles was not with us last time, but he was with us the episode before, where we were in a clearing in Talgon Forest fighting Render himself and some of his troops. You guys took it to the max. I mean, it took 2 sessions to basically play a full throttle fight him. And I thought...
3 sessions, because I joined midway through the second session of it.
Yep, it did take 3.
Yeah, 3 sessions.
It did? Okay.
Yeah, because I missed the first session when you went into it. I joined in the middle session. I wasn't there for the final session.
Yep, because we fought in
3
the forest,
sessions.
and then that we got to the fight in the forest part where we ambushed the 3 undead, and then that was the end of that episode because we ran out of time because it took so long to get to that point because we had to figure out all the missions. It was rough. It was a rough fight. It was worth it. It was fun.
Now it's just you and I telling them the recap. I know that 3 specialists went along. I believe with the Stir Vipers, led by Blue Biting Cone, a soldier. He led that. Even though the Chosen was with them, 3 specialists and some rookies. Blue Biting, which is right here in the soldier level, because he's Panyar. So they suggested, when you're in this forest that's full of Panyar-like creatures, Panyar should lead the way. And he did. Yep. He did well. But yeah, they took in the Adorna the Sniper, who went down early with a trauma, but she did her job. And then the 2 heavies, Yax and Belig, they carried the fight most the whole time. Shreya joined with Render when he came onto the field, but then they rescued a new specialist who joined them, a Panyar named Silver Flowing Blaze, and she did the final blow on the Lieutenant Xenia, I believe her name was, who came to join on Render's side. So they took out a lieutenant, took out some Black Oak Knights, some undead, and they beat up Render hard. They threw a grenade and blew it up in his face. They stabbed him. They slashed him. There was a big giant wolf-like creature that got crushed onto Belig a little bit, or I forget who it was. So it was a battle. It was a knockdown, drag-out fight. Shreya did better than Render in the fighting, pushed him back, and he finally disappeared, but Yax did jump in at the last moment for the suicidal, I'm going to still mess you up, final, send you packing, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you, kind of knock it as you run with your tail between your legs, Render type of strike. Yeah, that was really long sentence there, but I thought if Yax does not roll a full 6, which I don't think he did, he's dead. But
they squeaked it out.
I think you had enough armor because it was like level 7 harm, so it was like 4 levels of fatal, and you got it down to a level 3 just barely. Yep. Take a level 3 harm. Good thing you didn't already have a level 3 harm, or else he would have.
I had no harm going into that. That's what was crazy about that fight. He was sitting at max. He was at max stress at the start. At the end, he had used all of his abilities except for his armor because he never got hit. He was just stressing out doing his actions because it was just so stressful to do the things he was doing. And then the last thing he did was he I tried to roll and accepted the fact that he was going to die one way or another, because if I rolled anything but a 6, I rolled a critical on his resistance roll, and he lost 1 stress, and that's the only reason he didn't stress out, is because if he'd have rolled anything lower, he would have stressed out. Because if he'd have rolled anything but a 6, he would have stressed out and died anyway, because he's already had a trauma.
Yep.
But he managed to get a crit off for me, and he survived.
There were some good rolls right at the end. Render was sent packing. One of his lieutenants was destroyed. You got some mercy. You got a tick on Shreya's clock to level up. You got a like I said, a new specialist. And then there were some other rewards. We kind of went over it last time, but let me just double check.
Arun the Mercy died during the secondary mission to destroy the Shades ritual deep in the Talgon forest.
Well, that's
in the doing, a rookie was performed well enough to have himself promoted to soldier.
That was the secondary, which did work out. You took out the Shades that we've kind of put into the story, invented, adding 10 points to your final score, extra morale, and yes, you got a promotion from that, right?
Yep.
And then you guys got 2 morale, 1 intel. I think you already marked that intel. Favor for your mercy, and a specialist from the special assault. So you guys got a lot of rewards. And I think that's where we pick up for the campaign phase. Or from the campaign to the back of camp phase, which I think we're going to have a story coming.
There's a story after some more stuff happens first, though. There's a couple of little... First, the back of camp phase is separate from the story. What is our current morale? Is it... Well, never mind. We have filled up the high, so...
We're trying to get...
It's capped off, but... and I think we already took away the morale and added it from the missions, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's max. We got 10.
So I think we have to select and lead a back at camp scene.
Yep. So
that's where we start.
A band, while the soldiers are all getting back and everyone's getting relaxed, back in from the fight and wounds starting to get bandaged, a small band of refugees that were inadvertently freed by us stumbles upon the camp and begs for help.
Oh, that's right. You brought some refugees back with you, didn't you?
Yep.
Okay.
So, I don't know how you want to do that, but that is what's happening as the camera is refocusing on the camp itself. There's a band of refugees that showed up at the edge of camp being held back by guards that are begging for assistance.
Okay, so you, as the lore keeper role, will set roles for whoever, or ask them what they want to play. But I would set for the 3 of you and also for me, because you're kind of the GM at this point. So if you want me to play it or not, I can sit here. It's fine.
I would like you to be the head of these refugees.
Knew it.
And of course, the marshal will be the marshal, because he's the marshal.
Yes.
Oh man, I always mix up his voice with everyone else's.
It's fine. They basically call on you. One of the guards sends somebody to the marshal because there's no HR rep.
Yeah.
It's pretty much you, then the commander.
I'm inventing a character right now, so give everybody a roll and let me know when you're ready.
User, you can be one of the guards that's holding them back, that if you wish.
Excellent.
And it could be one of the many rookies or soldiers that you have in there too.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be a nameless guard.
Well, I mean, it's just guard. It doesn't matter. This is
Doesn't matter.
And I think I'll be one of the refugees as well.
Now, how many refugees are we talking? Are we talking like a dozen, a few dozen?
It says a band, so I'm going to say
Probably 12 to
5 or
20.
6.
Oh.
5 or 6, but they're representing a large group that's nearby.
Oh, okay. So you're playing a refugee, and I'm playing a refugee. Dom's playing the marshal, and the user is playing Is he playing Nugget? Or is he... No.
Oh,
He can. That's fine.
I know he's just...
Oh, man.
Nugget was stuck
He
at
hasn't
camp.
got to in a while. I mean, he's still
we love
recovering.
Nugget. We
We love-
stand Nugget.
Nugget was
How
stuck
far
at
away
camp,
from
so-
recovering is Nugget? My boy.
I just... You know what? Even if he's not recovered, he can still stand watch, right?
He's actually not too far off. He just needs 2 more ticks, then he can effectively be put in without any downsides.
Yeah, I had to
No,
bring
he's
it up.
fine.
I was just like, I know his favorite character. Let's just do it. Okay, so... who's the leader of the refugees talking? Is it me or you?
We'll start with you.
So, how I picture it is like on the outskirts of camp, and you two are like trying to push in and to talk to somebody with like higher authority, and you're being like actively accosted, like held back, right?
Sounds good.
When Rashi will strut up, you know, his long robes flowing against the grasses of the forest. What is going on here? Unhand those people. Officer.
I's not I's not officer boss. I's one of them veterans, but they's trying to push in, and you know how like the great enemy that they're like, you know, big and scary, but they, you know, put people in that, you know, I'd hate for what happened all those times ago when we got attacked by the big fat man, right, and he tries to kill us all. I'd hate for that to happen, sir. Right, and they might be doing that.
Yes,
boss.
yes. You've done your job. Unhand them. They are obviously of no threat.
Let go of me. Let go of me.
Let go of me.
Yeah.
And Rashi will step forward and kind of look them up and down. Looks like you're a long way from home.
I am Jack.
We have no home. Thanks to you guys.
Oh, thanks to us. Ah,
Yeah. You will not stop the undead from invading our lands, huh? So we are on the run, much as you.
we'd have done everything in our power to stop them. The only reason you're still here is because we slowed them down as much as we did.
They drug us here in chains because you went and played in the mountains,
And
searching
yet,
for trinkets.
and
like
yet here
dogs.
you are.
Yeah. Alas, not all of us. There was more. They got both West and East Lake. We are all that's left combined of these cities.
There's nothing for you here. You must continue to the northeast. Follow the high road all the way
The high
to
road.
Skydagger.
We have, it's not just us. We have, what, 40 or 50 more of us in the woods hiding. We need food and water.
And look at us. There's 40 of us. We've been through hell. I'm not trying to talk down on what you've been through. But if you'd seen things that we had seen,
Can you at least manage to point us in a way out of this forest? The last 3 times we went out today, we've come back here somehow. It's not the only place that there isn't something trying to eat one of us.
It's like a curse.
Poor Steve lost an arm already to the things. He's barely alive.
Not Steve.
I told, he slaps like your character Danny's like on, just like, you know, like on the chest, like, I told you they would not help us.
the Legion is the last vanguard of mankind. And we would not stand to leave innocents unprotected. We'll see you out of the forest. We're not ready to move yet, and we can't house you. But what we can give you is a guide. They'll take you east out of the forest to the fort. From there, the forest breaks. Follow the setting sun east. Wait, no, the rising rises in the east. Okay, the rising sun east.
I say we still do what we've been doing. Follow your tracks. That's the only thing that seems to not loop around and return to this spot.
Yeah, we could
not the
wait
only
and follow you from a distance.
You're
And-
not the only one walking in our tracks. This I assure you.
Well, I'll make sure I don't get in chains again. And he'll look over the other guy. Let's tell the others. I still say we've shadowed these people. And he'll start to walk away.
He goes, I will get, or we will get ahead of you, and we will tell everybody the Legion does not protect those other than themselves, until you have watched your women and children and best friends being tortured and murdered and raised again by Renda and his troops. You have not seen anything. You will see me again. I guarantee it.
The sequel.
Wait. You mustn't go yet. And I'll motion for Nugget to like come near. And I'll say, take 2 days rations from the officer's stash. The good stuff. And I'll turn towards the 2 refugees and I'll say, it won't be much. But it'll be more than you currently have. We've got sparse supplies. But as what he said, we are the vanguards of mankind, the last thing that stands between the living and the dead. And if you wish to get caught between us, that is your business. But we'll need every living soul at Skydagger for when the time comes. Ominously, flames
Nope.
shift ominously.
Yeah,
Honestly.
I haven't kept the map up in a bit. No one else.
But yeah, good scene. Good scene.
Yeah, I think this time his name is Jacques, and he just spits. He's like, "We will see." And
I've warned you.
Everyone gets an internet cookie
so
for free. For free. I love you guys.
internet cookie, I'll take that.
Mm-hmm. For free. I love you guys.
I want a real cookie, man. I'm hungry.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
There's.
Clearly, it's not good enough for you.
I'll take the internet cookie, whatever. But then they always mark what I'm track what I'm going to see online.
I don't think it works like that though. But here you go.
Okay. Anyway, where was I going with this? Oh, so I want to say, a long time ago, our favorite GM cheering buddy, Tice the Betrayer, one of our viewers, paid cheer bits when I changed up but it was called name an enemy, and he named 4 enemies. They didn't really fit because they're all human names, so I'm finally getting around to installing them and using them again, and that was one of the names he gave me. And so I said he's French, so there's not really French in this game, but I stuck with my worst possible
That's fine.
impersonation of anyway. So I just want to throw that out there for Tice, just to let him know that, yes, I'm coming back and using those cheer bits he paid me. Thank you very much. And good scene.
We'll honor them eventually.
Now I have to make notes real quick while we continue on that we had that scene in the first place.
Well, the next tick on the old camp phase is time passes. So I have to note as the commander +1 time and +1 pressure on my sheet. And of course on the big screen, but we'll wait for you to catch up.
So 1 time, so Summer has 1 tick left.
Summer has 1 tick left and 1 pressure. Quartermaster will -1 food.
I will do that.
All right.
Food stores are
Getting low.
You have 3 food left when you used to have almost 10.
The mountains are painful.
They
And
were.
then the lore keeper tells a tale of the Legion.
Ooh.
We have had 4 deaths. We're on our 3rd row of 4th deaths. 4 deaths. Let me pick one while I look at the rewards.
That needs to come over a little bit. We're getting to the end of the map. There we go. Just moving some stuff. Never mind
How
me.
close is the chosen to leveling up?
Once you pass into autumn, so 1 more tick on the clock.
She levels up too with the others.
What's that?
Never mind.
No, not your chosen. Only when you guys get the favor. So
Okay.
both
That's what I'm
blighter.
asking. How close is she?
Oh, I'm sorry. She has, I believe, 1 tick out of 4 now.
Oh, so never mind then.
Yeah, so if you do enough missions through Fort Calisco and get favor every time, there's a chance you'll level her up one more time.
There's a story that could give her a tick, but I don't want to do that now.
Oh, really? It's not a bad idea. But
No, but it doesn't help me currently. So we will do a tale of the Legion's independence. After the old empire fell, the Legion became sellswords that hired out the causes they believed in. This is a tale of the first cause the Legion took up. The first cause that the Legion took up as sellswords, loosely sellswords because they actually didn't charge for this, was the breaking of the Panya Forest. When Panya Forest reached from the mountains to the sea, there came the East Lake people that are now there weren't called that at the time. It was called the Forge. And as the Legion was hired, they were hired to clear the path. But in this case, the creatures that we face now were 4 times their size in this forest. Mammoth monsters. Some of them move through darkness like water. So, and the trees gave them near perpetual darkness. The Legion lost down to a man every squad, except one, and had to rebuild from the start. But they did completely sever the link between the 2 forests. And that's one of the reasons the darkness of this forest is so quick to attack a non-Panyar, because the Legion was everything but Panyar. It took 5 centuries before Panyar would join knowingly to the Legion. What that gives us, that story, is all Legionnaires start to shrug off wounds. All specialists mark 1 free healing tick.
Oh, Marshall, would you like to take care of the ticks?
Yep, you put 1 free tick wherever you want on their sheet.
So that's inspiring, knowing how far the Legion has come, how much they've lost, how much they've gained, and over those, you said 5 centuries?
5 centuries it took to get the Panyar back.
And now Panyar fight alongside you, and
They're
are
still rare.
also Legionnaires themselves. Panya could burn, much like the rest of this map, with my crappy fire suit. If I do it like that, then no one can tell I'm using 3 different fires on the map. You gotta zoom out and look at it specifically. Anyway, it's a good story. It is inspirational. The specialists are, I'm not sure how that heals them, but you know what? They are feeling a little more honored to be a part of what this is. Whether you like that idea or
Well,
not.
the thing is, it's not necessarily a true healing. It's the book itself empowering the Legion. So, almost like the Chosen does. She starts reading it, and her and the book glows, and that's at the end of the story. The book slams shut, and she walks away, and then everyone gets a healing tip. Specials.
Lord Keeper Colors, doing it again.
We haven't done our campaign actions yet, have we?
Nope.
That's next.
Okay.
How's everybody looking after that?
The new sniper, the Gale, isn't doing too hot because she had a level 3 harm, as did obviously Yox, but everyone else is peachy keen, ready to go.
So she needs 2 more ticks.
Yeah.
Well,
We're there, ready to go again.
The quartermaster has 1.
We have 2 free campaign actions. We're still at max.
He has 1 mercy ready to go, so that's a tick right there. And if you did an R&R, if you needed it, you would get her back to
Another free tick for everybody. Yeah.
But let's not get ahead of ourselves, I guess, because that's what I always do. So good story.
Actions.
Good story. Thank you. Time passes. Oh, we did that. Tail Legion. Yep. Campaign actions. based on current morale at your option may spend. So we have 2 free campaign actions, right? So this is where the quartermaster comes in. I'm taking care of that. Excuse me. But you guys will help me. How's stress? I mean, I know there was some long-term project plan on this. Pardon me. He's trying to build a distillery, which means 3 more ticks on a long-term project, and training a spy master lackeys, which still needs 6 ticks. Probably wouldn't touch that one, but he has a supply of 1 only, so that's only either 1 boosted action, 1 extra action, or hold on to it until you get more supply. All right. So with that, between the marshal and the commander, but marshal looking over the stress and the wounds, and also the spy master looking at his actions, because he can kind of go whenever, and spy master can help out both commander and quartermaster here. But I think you help out the quartermaster, don't you, spy master, kind of with his long-term projects. So that it depends on if he tries to get that distillery, which heals an extra stress once it's complete.
But we're getting close to the end.
We are, but you're gonna. Skydagger could be a long endeavor. It depends on how we play it. Like, there's little missions to do to set up the last mission, and then the last mission is just an engagement roll, unless we decide to play out a big battle, which we'll discuss as we get closer.
Probably do.
Huh?
But which we'll probably do. We do have a bit of stress on folks, I do believe, but the marshal will have to let me know how that's going.
Stress is mostly between Yax and Velig.
Oh, that's
Silver
good.
Flowing Blaze has 3, and Blue Biting Cone has 6, but he's rather dispensable.
Okay. So we don't have to prioritize that then.
So stress is not a necessity?
Not a emergency, I should say.
Okay.
We could get by another mission phase with our
Using
current-
other
'cause-
people.
Without doing a liberty action.
Yeah, because you automatically lose 2 stress, or does stress only go down when you take liberty?
Only
Correct.
when you take liberty.
Yep. Everybody clears 3 stress when you do it, or if you boost it, you clear all stress,
Gotcha.
and you increase morale by 4, which you don't need.
And R&R gives the healing tick, 1 healing tick per character, so which is everyone. Everyone in the Legion gets 1 healing tick. If you do R&R,
And then you have a mercy, which can help a specialist with 1 additional.
tick. I'd say let's try to roll that project then, because if we can get 3 ticks on that project, it's done. And then we could do an R&R or Liberty, and get a lot more. Get 1 or 2 more.
You would get, you get 4 ticks of stress that would relieve.
Yeah.
Say you would like to do a long-term project roll.
I would say I would prefer to do a long-term project roll to see if that one finishes, and then go from there. Because we can't acquire assets here, I don't think. I think this is a 0.
It is 0, so you roll 2 dice.
Pick the lowest.
Yep. So
I think we would still need to try for an asset after that, regardless, because of just how low the food and supplies are.
So you're thinking use your 2 things to finish the distillery.
Yep.
How many laborers do you have? You have 1 laborer.
So that's an extra
So-
die.
No, that's an automatic tick on any project.
Okay, so it'd make it 2.
Yep. So
which
that
would be 4 and a 5 would be needed to get the next tick.
Yep. And long-term project, you can use your 1. You can actually make this happen, because even if you only roll a 1 to 3, you could boost it with a supply to make it a 4 to 5, unless it does it on its own.
Yeah.
Now, also, the spy master might be able to jump in here if he wants to use one of his actions. I should note, I think that I'm just making sure that we're keeping up and make sure everybody knows how they can participate. Spy master might have his own plans, but he has 3 spies.
I do.
So you tell me if you want to. That's only for. Okay, so you can help. You can bribe or threat to add +1 die to a long-term project roll. So if you want me to make the roll, I will. But got to know Well, actually, first, what the quartermaster needs to do is pick a specialist to lead this action to get the distillery done. And I'm probably going to look at Joster, who is probably going to sway with 2 dice, or use his channels to help get that complete. I feel like that's just my first pick, and let me take a look at Nugget. I don't think maneuver works here, but
I mean, he is maneuvering himself around to maneuver the things.
maybe. But
Nugget can do other things. He's not just a maneuverer.
I know. I'm gonna say it's Joster. I just feel like the officer would work here.
Yeah.
And he would be using like his sway. Not sway. More of a marshal.
Don't make too much of a difference.
It's not. It's 2 either way. So it's going to be 2 dice. Spy Master, before I roll, do you want to add 1 dice, or do you want to?
I will add 1 dice.
All right. Risky, standard, that doesn't matter. Bonus dice 1. Let's see what we get. That's a 6.
Joster's back.
And you know what? I'm going to save that tick. Let's say we would have done that first. Because that gets you 3 ticks right there, right? A 6?
Mm-hmm. So
that would finish off the distillery, and I'll put the extra tick from the laborers in the training Spy Master lackeys that Spy Master wants. So that'll go there. Yeah. Distillery is complete. You now get 1 extra stress when you do liberty action. So you clear 4 stress instead of 3. How's that sound?
Excellent.
So, does that mean we're doing a liberty action for the quartermaster's second action to clear all stress? Or to clear 4 stress?
It's a toss-up between that and an extra healing tick, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Either I'd say they're about even in utility.
You guys talk it out.
Bellig is not damaged, right?
Bellig is healed.
Or he's not at 3. He's not like
Silver
Yox
Flowing Blaze is level 3, as is Yox. Nugget's a level 2, and Adorna's a level 1.
But
there's
just to say, particularly about Nugget, my boy Nugget. If you remove the final bit of harm from him.
Oh no, because he ignores level 1, right?
Because he ignores level 1. Yeah.
Okay. Let's do a healing tick to clear at least 1 heavy, because we're going to a fort area that might have a lot of combat missions, and I'd like to have somebody ready when we get there.
Dorna's good.
Because that way we don't have to go out on a mission without a possibility of a heavy. It feels like a fort's going to have assault missions there. It seems to be par for the course for this game.
Alrighty.
Because it's a combat zone.
And Yox is good now too.
And he put the blighter sticker on top of it, so somebody's already there playing shenanigans. So I want to have one of them ready.
Your scouts tell you that she moved after her and Render met forces. You can see where the red and the green lines cross. She continued down east right away to Fort Calisco. So there's already forces there laying siege, as you'll find out. And then Render is stuck in the woods.
Yeah, so I prefer the second action to be the healing tick then.
Okay, so we're doing that. And Marshall, are you marking the ticks? I'm assuming you're doing that right now.
Yeah, I just did. Can we use the Mercy on Silver Flowing Blaze?
I wanted to wait till you were done to make sure that I asked that question. And absolutely. So I will mark the Mercy.
Then update the status of the Alchemist Laborers and Mercies, which you are doing right now.
So I'm going to click. Lucilia is wounded and Claudia is unwounded. So they kind of are alternating. That's where we're at.
Yep.
So that gets Silver Flowing Blaze. Is that everybody's pretty much back in action? All your heavies are back, or I'm sorry, all your specialists are at least able to go into action?
Yeah, Bellig's probably too stressed, as is Yox.
Bellig and Yox could only go on secondaries, which would probably kill him.
Now remember,
anyway,
the quartermaster does have 1 supply. You could do 1 extra action and do a liberty and get the stress down.
We have. Oh wait. Okay. Yes, we are heavyless. In our current state, because Nugget has a level 1 harm. Okay, he's going on the next mission. We have a heavy.
Yeah.
But
he ignores that.
But Nugget ignores the penalties level 1 harm.
Exactly. So he's our heavy next time around. And plus we have Joster, who come on.
Those two work really well together if they have to go on a mission together. It's pretty nice having Joster.
Yeah.
Adorna's good to go too.
and Adorna's
Okay.
Adorna and Silver Flowing Blaze. So
Okay.
you get both.
I'm happy with that. I want to kind of save that supply in case we need to send a supply
Alright.
on a mission,
All right.
if that's okay with the other two.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, so I think that's good. So the Spy Master, you have 2 actions left if you want to use them now doing your own stuff or helping the
Right.
commander.
I was actually, given that, assault missions, got a plan. I'm going to send off Crimson Vexing Gale, hopefully try and assist in laying a trap. So I'm going to do his role now. My people would stop messaging me. There you go.
Oh, a 6.
How many ticks is 3?
Yes. So you get 3. It's
Ticks is 6. Okay. Right.
so
So yeah. So the next mission list would include an assault mission to target a specific lieutenant or infantry.
I think you were at 4 ticks, weren't you?
I was at yes.
So that you would get 3 ticks. You still have 1 tick left.
Oh fucker.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
See, to me, with my very poor eyesight, it's yeah. That's a
fine.
shame.
I'm here to take you down a peg. I'm
God.
sorry.
You're killing me, man. You're breaking my heart.
I know. I'm sorry.
Nah.
So you have probably Bortus since he's trained. Oh, he's wounded. Why is he wounded? He must have been from last time. Okay.
Maybe.
Recover spy heal. Okay, so you could have him heal as your last action, or you could have. Because you use Crimson Vexing for that. You use one of them for the helping the quartermaster, and you have 1 left. Which they can also help finish that mission off if you want to. It'll just happen.
Yeah, we'll just do that then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You will have to roll just to make sure that they don't get wounded. And they don't.
There you go.
Finish it. So lay a trap. You can clear that. Just make a note, or maybe even keep the clock full to remember. But just try to remind me that for next mission list will include an assault mission to attack a specific lieutenant or infamous.
Right.
Okay. All right. So you have to help remind me that. I'll make a note.
I have to assist you.
Yep. It actually will be the mission list after the next because there's a special mission that comes immediately for this next thing that has to take priority. But when it comes back to here's your 2 or 3 missions, assault mission. Say assault mission with trap for what was it? Infamous.
Yep.
Or lieutenant.
Yep.
Next mission phase. Okay, and that'll be actually the mission phase after the next because, like I said, you'll see when we get there because we're almost there. All right, so that's. Are you done, Spy Master?
That will be all.
All right. Good work.
Yeah.
So that'll be an assault mission that specifically lures something in, and so you guys can just attack and try to kill it before the end game, right? That could actually be really helpful for your score. Really helpful to weaken the enemy before the end.
Yeah.
Nice work. What's next, Commander? I'm assuming the Legion will
Next
advance.
we decide if the Legion will advance. They will.
Are we spending horses to reduce pressure?
No,
Pressure.
I don't think so. It's 1.
Let me see how many horses you have just to make sure. You have 3 horses. But
I don't see the point.
okay, so roll pressure and use the result to add time. So don't do it yet, though.
But I want to do it now.
Well, there's a special rule for rolling. When advancing, roll pressure at -2 dice. So,
Oh, that's right for this one. So
technically, you're going to go to 0 dice, which is really good
option.
because the Talgon Force it holds you up a little bit, but it really holds up the undead. It makes it hard for Render to follow you. So the pressure really gets pulled off you here. So let's say you had 3 pressure at this point, you'd be down to 1. So you'd be basically you can't go below 0, so you'd be at 0 pressure, which means you're going to roll 2 dice and take the lowest, which is good because this is where you want to roll. This is where you want to roll low, right? And what'd you get? A 3.
1 tick.
So it's a tick. Summer's over.
Summer just ended.
I get to pick a new level up for my broken.
So
So we knew it was going to be end of summer anyway, right?
Yep, no, there's no choice.
But I kept it. That means you got a lot of autumn to play with. So Fort Calisco is going to be the place where you guys can do multiple missions if you want to get a bunch of stuff before the end. Because after that, the High Road and the Mall are going to be and then you're at Skydagger, right? So this next location is going to be, boom. This is where you do it.
Fort Calisto.
Let's go ahead and put you guys, and you are advancing. Probably talking too much too soon, but you know that's what I do.
You're excited.
It's how I roll.
Return to mission phase. But there's something special here, I think.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. I just got to get this blue line thing. All right. All right. Nice work, guys. You are now at Fort Calisco, where Blighter also is. Let me turn to it. All right. So the Legion hikes up about 40 refugees in tow, plus the refugees you brought off the field. So probably like 50 or so refugees as they probably join their people, and they all follow you. Fort Calisco. I just wanted to try to see material station there. Well, there's some stuff I tell you. This is only when you walk in, but this is not what happens. So, Fort Calisco is still, I don't want to say it's not in the forest, right? Because who would build it in the forest? Just outside the forest clearing, several hundred yards outside the clearing of the forest, where you can see the south road comes up from East Lake. The west road is where you travel from, and roads head out to the north and the east. So it's kind of it is a crossroads. There are small groves of trees that grow nearby. There's probably a large moat. Maybe, I'm not sure if that would work. Yeah, there's probably a large wet moat. So there's a water-filled moat. This fortress is huge. It's got huge stone walls. It looks like it could fit an entire city in there. I mean, it is a kind of a city in itself. It slopes upward against the wall, so anybody trying to advance has to crawl uphill with arrows raining down on them. It's under siege by Blighter when you get there. You know safe refuge can be found within the walls, but getting in may not be so simple. It's well built. Looks like it's withstood several attacks and has, according to your reports. But the undead seem to be forming and falling back and have a new plan. So with Blighter, if you'll remember some of her troops. Okay, someone remember page 417, so I can go back. Blighter, her line troops are the Rotters, which are your standard zombies. There's tons of those. Probably hundreds. And then they have the Crows, which are those plague masks, those silent, quick crows that dart all over the place. And then she has Horrors, which are those big conglomerates of fleshy parts all pushed together to make big old nasty monsters. I don't know if I can get them on there right. There they are. It's hard to focus. And then she has the Spitters, which are those things that spit acid. So all of those things are here. Probably a lieutenant or two. No infamous because you guys have killed. Oh no, never mind. The crow, the called the doctor, the one with the white plague mask. That one still lurks. And of course, some lieutenants. So anyways, I just wanted to remember you have Blighter's troops. Blighter is here. Shreya's hackles start to rise as you guys are sneaking out of the forest to the west of the fort. And you see the siege that's been laid. You must get inside. But how is it going to work? So, special rules. Yep. Well, it is an assault mission, so technically the trap could work here if you want. You see from within the walls many flags of many military units and many nations flying over the walls. So this has become a huge refuge for lots of different countries, lots of different refugees, lots of different units, companies, factions are here. And you need to be among them. But here you are. Fort Calisco is surrounded by the undead, and you must find your way inside. There is only one mission in this phase, and it is an assault mission. the favor is glory, so this won't help for your chosen. But to get into Fort Calisco, you have to break the siege. The best way to do that is to hit the undead in a position of force, and force them to shift forces to defend, while the Legion makes a break out of the forest and into a side gate. Whatever the undead are preparing for, the walls, ritual or siege weapons, looks like a good target. But you guys will do what you want. So, I have to make a clock for the chosen, stalling the broken. At this point, while the troops light the undead siege weapons on fire, or whatever you want to do, this mission requires horses. Mission reward, -1 time. You can go back to summer. +3 morale. Hey, Dom just subbed. Thank you, Dom, for the sub. As somehow you were laughing a lot.
Wait, I subbed?
No, Soundwave gifted a tier 1 sub to you.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
I don't even know what that does, but thank you.
Soundwaves, thank you for the gifted sub on your birthday to Dom to this channel. Appreciate it. Thank you. Much love.
Season of giving.
That was funny. So, yes, -1 time, +3 morale, and pressure does not increase. That is your mission reward. Mission penalty, you may not advance until you finish this mission. You must get into the fort. This is an assault mission, so since it is, if you want to use the lay a trap, you can. Otherwise, the siege weapons, they're bringing out siege weapons right now. Remember in Lord of the Rings, I think it was Two Towers.
Grand.
You talking about the big fiery wolf battering ram? I was thinking of something like that. Well, we'll say it's something big and nasty like that, okay? But instead of it being a big piece of wood and metal, it's this thing that's on wheels. It's huge, maybe not quite as big as in the movie, but it has like a battering ram attachment to it. But what you are horrified to look at is that it looks like it is a gigantic horror itself. Now, the horrors are bigger than the Heartless. They're like, 8, 9, 10 feet tall, and they're made of different bodies put together, right? Now imagine if you took like 10 horrors and combined them into even a bigger monstrosity.
Exponential.
There you go. Strapped it onto wheels with a battering ram as it kind of forms around this battering ram, and they're bringing this up to the doors to smash the doors down. It's being pushed by about, 80 rotters with crows dancing around there to command them. And this is something that, well, you guys will decide how you want to do it. Shreya herself will take to the field to distract Blighter. And maybe we'll go into character here, because you guys can't have your usual tent meeting. You come out, I think the command staff is riding up front. Quartermaster's in the back, making sure that no one steals the stuff. Lord Keeper Colors is just busy writing down everything she sees. Commander, Marshal, and Spymaster sit there, and I'll be Shreya. She rides up next to you. Your attendants your retainers are at your sides. You're all on horses. Her horse, of course, towers over everybody's a little bit. And she's like, Commander, we must get inside.
We can't get past unless we get through the wall.
She looks over to the south side. She's like, I can see there's a side there's a sally portal or a sally port over there. If you can get if we can make a big enough noise, the rest of the Legion and I guess the refugees that are following, if they can do it, will get inside. But we gotta make enough noise. I'll distract Blighter if you wish.
I look over to the Marshal. I think it's time to let the boys loose.
Matters not if we get inside. If that monstrosity remains standing, the walls will come down atop our heads as soon as we step in.
I remember the last one of those things we killed. It made a lot of noise. We had someone climb its back and stab it a couple thousand times, I think she said.
Doesn't seem to ring a bell.
If
We've
I
certainly got
if
some.
I may,
yeah.
friends.
Oh, Spy
Um,
Master.
Well, hello,
Hey, hey.
I'm here. Sorry,
scared
I
us.
know
Speak
that
up.
I'm very forgettable. But this seems like a great moment because they are currently looking to attack the fort from the outside going in and not from the inside going out. And that tends to have more lax defenses. Might I suggest we strike while the iron is hot and perhaps, two birds, one stone, as it were, and we take our horses and we charge straight into maybe eliminate the doctor, the white masked raven, perhaps. This may be an excellent moment. We can release some pressure, get in, and sorry, I understand you two are the military masterminds here, and I'm just here for the ride, but do forgive me, of course. Please respond, sirs.
We're just staring at the
silence. Silence is killing me.
We're just staring at
Sorry.
you.
No,
Sorry, it's my wife.
he's speaking to us? Did we
He
give him
turns
permission?
back towards the marshal. Do you think your men can do that in the midst of all this chaos? And you'll see smirking when he says that.
They seem to thrive on it.
He'll turn back to Shreya. I think we can make enough noise for you, madam. Your choice of attacking Blighter or helping us with the doctor is up to you. I won't dictate your actions.
Let me,
Either one sounds fun for us.
before she responds, let me ask, because I was making the clocks. What was your idea?
Attack
Well,
the doctor.
Yeah, to use the setup to attack the doctor.
Okay. Yes, I guess I would say.
Not the siege weapon.
Well, if the siege weapon remains standing, and doesn't, it probably should. If it's not burnt and destroyed, it will eventually crash through the walls. But that's not. That could be your next. That could be the next mission phase, technically. Okay. But I mean, I guess the book makes it sound like that's what you're supposed to do. But I don't want to take away from you guys if you want to do something else. This is an assault mission. But if the siege weapon is not destroyed, it will be something that becomes a danger next time. Just keep that in mind.
We could hypothetically send Freya to destroy the siege weapon, and we could go in and you could send your men to take out the infamous, the lieutenant.
She looks down at me and she goes, I will be taking on Blighter. If we don't keep Blighter at bay, she will enter the field. And she's going to make things very difficult for you.
Sure.
You're like, nah, she ain't nothing.
Nah, be alright. I mean, from what I've heard, champion, last time what's his face? Last time she attacked the camp, there was a bunch of brave soldiers who, assisted you, and they came out completely fine, and you did not. So surely, is she really that dangerous, really?
Yeah, sure. She just looks at you simply and just says, yes. Her power grows.
Really?
Her power grows and renders on her heels. Commander, if you really want me to destroy your siege weapon...
No. We stalled Render, and our men paid dearly for it. We've stalled Blighter, and you and our men nearly paid dearly for it. Stall Blighter. Do not overextend yourself. We need you to end Blighter. I have an idea, but we need to be together again to do it. I need to get thy people and the hangers on into that fort, so that way we can actually have a plan and have 5 seconds of our own time to get one that doesn't involve rushing forward. So, please stall her. If you cannot finish her, don't risk yourself. You are more important than her death at this time. Please. He'll bow a little bit.
You fire off a flare when the refugees are getting inside, and I'll come a-running.
Thank you. Turns to the marshal. Well, find your bravest and strongest, or foolish, and let's see if we can end the medic.
So,
Thought this day would never come.
did someone say fire? I don't have a good... I have a red hat. This thing is awkward and bright. So, Magus, your alchemist that you rescued, along with the other alchemist, comes rushing up, and he's got like... They each got a crate, and they're setting down alchemist fire. So, Ethel Minus and Ether Magnus, he's like, if you would perhaps like... taking some alchemist fire into battle would be most helpful to you, Commander. I say this because if the Legion has an alchemist, the engagement roll is at +1 die, Marshal. And you do.
He'll nod and he'll... Marshal, it's your men directly. You know them best. Will this aid them?
Yes, I know my men well. But the alchemist will have to let them know just how dangerous this fire can be. Understood?
Oh, yes. And Magnus, they both have, their clothing is charred, and they all got bandages and burns. They've been producing a lot of it. Now, it doesn't say you get free alchemist fire, but we'll just see what happens here. It does require horses, though, so I'm going to go ahead and tick off.
That's one of the reasons I didn't want to use it, because I know assault missions like horses to do stuff.
Yep.
It's like, if we have to do an assault mission because Blighter's in our way, I don't want to play around with the horses right now.
All right, so you have 2 horse uses left.
Yep.
And...
They may get burnt out.
Yep. So,
But we may get more. We never know. That quartermaster role in a place with assets is amusing.
alrighty. So I guess we're to the picking the specialists. So on assault, you want to have at least a heavy, or an
Heavy
officer.
or an officer.
Heavy, medic, or sniper, and black shot is what's recommended on assaults.
Is it a medic?
Heavy, medic, or sniper.
Medic or sniper. Okay, let me get... I actually didn't write this out, so whoops. Alright, so this is special assault.
Raid, ambushes, and attacks.
So
Ambush attack.
the crew equals... I need to know what your 2 specialists are. Alchemists are not going on the mission, just to be clear, so you don't have to worry about that. So you need the 2 specialists that are going to go and the squad that's going to follow. And then we'll do load. And
So no secondary mission?
no secondary.
Okay. Cool. Yep. We'll send Joster and Nucket with the with the Shattered Lions. This is all that you get to go with your brother again, Nucket.
Great.
Family reunion of death.
The Shattered Lions they're the wrecking crew. I think they're pretty established as our best group.
Excellent.
I think they've got 3 soldiers amongst them.
So who's going? Nucket and
Nucket and Joster.
Joster.
Nucket, the Lord of Charging.
All right. And then... All right, so we got them. Let's see. We got Joster, Nucket, And the Shattered Lions.
Yep.
So I guess, sir, gotta choose who is playing who.
I'm gonna take Joster. User will take Nucket. And
Weird.
No, that's
Right.
unusual. Wasn't expecting that.
and I guess Soundwaves, you have your pick of the Lions.
Yes.
There's always Spud, or you could play Mackett and get the brother dynamic going. I think you've played. Have you played Collet, or was that?
I
Haruka?
played Collet.
Okay.
I played Collet. She's got the bearded axe, I think.
Yeah, with the wolf head.
And she was
That's the
also
one I played. She's the one that got the corruption because she got swapped with
she had the Shade copy.
shade thing.
But she was on that mission that ended it, so she is probably quite happy now that that is no longer a thing.
But then again, Mackett is a specialist, as is Spud.
Mackett is a soldier, you mean?
Yeah, soldier. I'm sorry. Collet is very close to becoming one.
Yeah, she would finish the mission as one if I play her, probably.
As would Dame Adriana Lopio. But we'll get
What are
Haruka
what are they
on that.
being the specialist in? Or what are they doing the specialist in? You know what I'm asking. You know what I'm asking.
Well, let's see.
What?
Collet is her thing was
Draska is not coming up.
Jack of all trades. She had free extra ticks. Loyal, bold. So it wasn't really special, but it was a very fun thing I created her from the ground up. That's why she was fun.
So you got four of them are soldiers?
Mm-hmm. They've been on a lot of missions.
Yeah.
Shadow Lions
Draka.
they went through a lot. In the
No,
mountains.
Dame. So Dame and Collet are both rookies, right? So you have 3 out of 5 are soldiers.
Yeah.
Man.
So yeah, these are the elite forces, and both Dame and Collet are one mission away from
soldier.
crossing that threshold. So if we could get you to play one of them, if you could play Collet,
I'll play Collet.
Soundways, then we'll stick Dame on Haruka when he comes back next session, because he'll definitely be here. And then we'll have a whole squad of
Soldiers.
soldiers. And that's powerful, because that's an extra D6 on the engagement roll, which really doesn't. I put so much into these engagement rolls; they don't mean much in the grand scheme of things.
Well, they would on the secondary.
Yeah, that's
That would be huge on a secondary where you're guaranteed 2 dice, unless you got like really crappy things happening against you. Which is one of them is soldier. You get an extra dice just for that. So yeah, I'll take Collet then. She
All right.
was bold and loyal. Let me read my own notes. Okay. There is no longer a shadow.
So let's pick load. I mean, I assume it's heavy, but not everybody always goes heavy.
I think Collet would have to go heavy.
She's kind. I mean, she had the bearded axe, you know.
Yeah. Well, it gives her armor and a shield, and going into some rough stuff. Let's see.
She gets a soldier's kit, a musket, ammo. Then she'll get a family weapon,
Which is the axe.
tent and camping gear, or cooking kit, fresh food, which neither are really important for this mission, but you never know.
To load. She's got a shield now. She's not.
So I'm gonna give everybody. You can mark it off if you don't. You can write it in, but I'm gonna get everybody an alchemist fire. So that's an item.
boxes. 1 box on that.
1 box, and it does not count against your total load. All right. So just make sure everybody gets it in there. The other characters would have it too. We don't have to write it in for all of them. So tell me what load you're picking, anything special about what you're taking, and then we're going to move to the engagement. And yeah.
She will spend all her ticks on Black Shot.
All right. Black shot with an alchemist fire.
Mm-hmm. Armor, shield, her bearded axe.
Okay. That's
Got her musket. She got regular ammo, 5 shots of that, and 3 shots of black shot. There's no way she's gonna use all that ammo and not have to go into melee. So that sounds good to me.
Yeah. Joster's going heavy as well.
okay. What's she taking?
A reliquary.
Okay. Alrighty. What about Nugget?
I'm just thinking, because obviously I can take more than just one thing. I can take up to 4 utility items.
Beast.
I know.
We did good making those 2 guys. They're awesome.
Yeah. I'm just thinking. Probably a wrecking kit.
That's
We
probably
don't
good.
need winter clothing, do we?
Nope.
What does a soldier's kit do?
Oh, I was thinking that same thing.
I'll look it up. Come on, Peter.
Nugget's looking pretty good. He's got a lot of abilities.
Yeah, man. He truly is the charge and charge. I think, right. Him going into any combat where he's outnumbered or outgunned gets 4 dice.
Soldier kit is bedroll, flint and tinder, knife, lantern, small mirror, soap, shaving kit, trowel, whetstone, a day's rations, etc. Issued identical soldier trade parts and customized with additional goods. So,
That's not all that useful then for the combat.
no,
Nope.
All right.
it's just you have stuff that gets you going, keeps you going.
We named the mission yet?
No. I would like one though.
About Jericho.
Jericho? I love it.
Sounds good.
Could take 2 lots of fine wrecking. Sorry, 3 lots of fine wrecking.
I
Sorry,
would
2
suggest-
lots. 2 lots of fine wrecking and a third normal third normal wrecking.
I would suggest a thing of black shot.
Sure.
We're going against an undead monster, and that will give you a bonus.
What's the? So the boxes, 2 boxes, the line between them. What does that signify?
You
I
have to
should know
click
this,
both.
but I don't.
You
Oh, what?
select it-
Oh,
to-
what?
To
You
get it,
have
you
to
select
click
both.
Okay.
You don't have to, but black shot gives you a little bit of boost on your attack with it.
Attack on range attacks, or just attacks in general.
Attacks in general.
Gives you
just
potency.
You gotta use it. It's meant for ranged shots, but it's black shot. You just pour it on something and stick somebody with it. It's the same thing.
Excellent.
You pour it on a stick and you stab somebody. It's been shot into them now.
I don't know if that's how it's supposed to be used, but I guess fictionally, however you can work it in, whatever, you know.
I like the grenade use.
Yes. Yep.
been-
Yeah.
All right.
Do we have it there, Charles?
No,
Usually?
because thing is, I already get a fine wrecking kit as part of heavy load. It's just, yeah.
Well, we
I
should-
don't need the extra weapons because I've got the weapons already.
Remember, wrecking kit is mallets, spikes, pry bar, axe, and drills, and bats and acids, and other small things used to make holes and break things.
Well, here we go. So you got fine armor, a fine hand weapon. You get a flare gun with all the charges. So you're taking the fine heavy weapon. Then you get a wrecking kit, which you may as well check off in there, and a tower shield. Could you also just take a shield to get extra armor? That probably doesn't work.
I mean, I was thinking that, but that's down to you. Would you allow that? Would you allow me using up 1 lot of shield and then using up another lot of shield later?
I think it does say fine tower shield replaces any shield.
Yeah.
Mesh shield that can stop any melee fire and protect.
I would
somebody.
say maybe not. You might want to go
Oil.
oil is probably good for more burning, or a medic kit. So
Well, I can do both.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7 is the Alchemist Fire for free. And check your wrecking kit too, probably just to make sure you are weighed down.
Mm-hmm.
He's a beast.
Because I always take the relic quick. I don't think that counts against it. The Alchemist Fire doesn't count against it. So it's 2 for the fine. It's 1 for the oil, 2 for the black shot, and 1 for the medic kit. That he is, as they say, loaded for bear.
What about the reliquary?
It's
I
automatic.
don't think that counts against. Yeah, because you always equip a reliquary as part of being pious. It doesn't count against it, I don't think.
Thank you for the sub, Soundwaves Ghost. Thank you.
You read that wrong again.
Nuh-uh. Oh, you gifted a sub back to Soundwave. Well, it says different on the screen than it does in the wording below. Thank you, Dom, for gifting Soundwaves a birthday present back to the channel. Appreciate it. Thank you. Anyways, all right. So you got your loads. Let's move on.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to do the questions, Dom. Keeping in mind that we're going to start with 1 die instead of 0 because you have Alchemist Fire. Well,
Yeah, well, that's gonna be squandered very quickly here. I have a feeling.
maybe.
Okay. Because the first one are all on the mission. Oath sworn to the Legion. No.
Yes, no, they are. They are.
No, we have the refugees.
They're not on the mission.
They're not on the mission.
They're not on the mission.
They'll stay back with the rest of the Legion to rush the gate, but that's not part of your mission.
Yeah. Basically, this mission is happening, and everyone that's in the Legion that's not in the mission are standing at
Forest Edge.
They're waiting for
Yeah.
press
they're
X to
essentially
skip.
waiting for us. They're waiting for us to give the order for them to charge in.
Yeah,
But
they're
my-
waiting for you to press X to skip.
My group actions though. Okay, fine.
The group is
fine.
here.
Okay, all on the mission are oath sworn to the Legion, so we get 1 die from there. So we already have 2. Did the commander spend 1 intel to give us foresight and info? No.
Oh, but Commander, you would have at least a question to ask that you never asked.
Well, this isn't a normal list of missions. That's what the question's for.
You still get to have your intel question though. So we're at 2 dice. So you get a question from the 0 or more and the 1 or more. So you get 2 intel questions, and then so just pause right there, Dom. He's not. I don't unless you're spending the intel, or you want to hold on to that.
I'm gonna hold on to the actual intel, so I won't get to 1 or more questions. I don't think.
Yeah, you will.
Right?
Yeah, because you have 1 or more intels.
Oh, you don't spend it to do that. Okay.
You spend it if you want to get an extra die.
If ever there was a moment to use it to give us knowledge and foresight, this would be the time.
It could be good for Skydagger too, though. You do what you want. I mean, you would have. You would have spent you would have asked these questions before you spent the intel, so you could technically ask 2 questions and then spend the intel if you want on the engagement, or hold on to it. Either way.
See, how does the chosen feel about this man? Most of these questions aren't really useful in this case because we're just going to go slam into this guy and fight him.
That's
and check
fine.
the other sheets.
You don't have to. You can just check the.
Which broken troops? I mean, like most of the things are like, which broken troop do we expect to face on this mission? We expect to face the doctor.
Maybe. I mean, maybe. You don't know for sure. Like the crows are leading the rotters, and he's the head crow.
Which one? What is the elites? What is that list? Is that the infamous, or where on the scale? It's
Okay, let me.
blighter, and then lieutenant, infamous,
Yep.
elite. What order are those actually in? Which is the top and which is?
You just said it.
Elites are the worst.
No.
Yeah, right?
Nope.
The elites are just like the crows, right?
Hold on. Hold.
I thought it went elite, lieutenant.
Starting at the bottom.
infamous.
Starting at the bottom, you have just your line troops, okay,
Mhm.
which are crows and rotters. Then you have elites, which are the horrors and the spitters. So they're whatever. And then you have your infamous, which Red Hook and Whaler are dead. Shreya killed Red Hook.
Yep.
And you guys killed Whaler. The doctor is also last infamous. And then you have the lieutenants, which was Lugos, the clockwork assassin that you killed.
Yep.
And Black Rottingale, the one that you speared with a flagpole that killed the medic.
Okay, so they're infamous is what we're facing, so that's not an elite then.
You're trying to seek out infamous, but you don't know exactly what's out there. I mean, Blighter's brought everything. This is her entire force here. They're not all right now laying siege. There's some into the northern part of the woods. They're just kind of camped all over, right? So,
Yeah, there's just no questions here that don't go to elites or would be helping us set this mission up to choose the squad and everything. That's all these are.
okay. You don't have to ask them. I won't make you. I just want to make sure that you had the opportunity to do so.
They just don't help here. I will spend the intel for the bump though.
Okay.
I never have before. I've always saved it for special missions, but I think we've special missioned a little out. We need to
Oh yeah, special missions. Oh,
unless it comes up naturally on the roll, it's not going to be.
I love those. There will at least be an assault mission next time, as you've heard. All right, Dom. So it looks like you got 3 dice right now.
That. Sorry, I lost my place. Okay, is everyone on the mission a specialist or soldier? No, we still have 2 rookies. Does any Legionnaire distrust the leadership or not fear them enough to obey the orders on the battlefield? The Shattered Lions, they're the darling group. They love us. We love them. I don't think we have any problems with obedience.
They're half the reason we made it this far.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then our required specialists or equipment not on the mission. We have a heavy, so we're good.
Black shot.
Now, this is an assault mission. So did the quartermaster equip the soldiers this black shot? I don't believe he did.
We have black shot.
Some people took it on their own, but it doesn't count
Yeah, it needs to be like the full-on.
because then you get it free.
Well, Black Shot, you have 3 uses left.
I mean, you know, I
An
think
assault mission.
he would allow it. I think he'd allow it personally.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
We
And
do
we can
have blighter.
Spend our points
present.
otherwise for co-running.
Okay, I'm spending a Black Shot. So, Nugget, you mean you made her.
It means I have to find another thing. Yeah. Yeah.
So you guys got Alchemist Fire and Black Shot loaded on for free, not counting against your load. So that bet you what 4 dice. This will be the highest engagement roll we've ever had.
Yeah. Well, is any Legionnaire starting the mission wounded? Yes. Knuckle.
Yes.
So it goes back down 1.
So we're back down to 3.
Still, I think that's still the highest. I don't know if we've ever had
It is
3
the highest.
before.
We barely have 2 usually. So.
Yep. So is that it? Are we good?
Yep.
So
that's
you
3 dice.
so the plan is before you rush in. You got so Fort Calisco's entrance is on the west side from where you would come out of the woods at, which is where the undead are directly lugging this gigantic thing up to assault the doors. Pushed and pulled by rotters, commanding by crows, and the doctor seems to be in amongst them. But there are other rotters on the walls around them getting shot by arrows and trying to climb up. And there's a few horrors here and there trying to throw large stones over and be small sieges themselves. There are some horrors that have big drill bits and they're trying to drill into the walls and they're being fired on. Hot oil's being poured on them. So there's a general siege going on. But your point is to attack, I'm assuming, right, the big thing as well as hunt for the doctor. You're basically to make a noise and a distraction to put them on the defensive so that the siege breaks up a little bit and the Legion can go inside. Are you guys, what are you guys doing? Are you directly just charging in like the Riders of Rohan or what?
Yeah,
Well,
I
we
think
are
we
on
have
horseback.
some time to make some plans, right?
I'm just curious on what your initial idea is before the engagement roll. Or you want to roll the engagement roll first. I don't care. Go ahead.
My idea with our personnel would be Nugget leading basically like a head-on charge with the rookies.
Maneuver?
Oh yeah, Nugget's a maneuverer too. Okay,
Yeah.
I as an epic maneuver too. So
I would
we've got
argue
it
that
here.
Nucket is, out of everyone, the greatest maneuver the Legion has.
The paragon of maneuvering.
He
Okay.
is, you know,
He likes to
people
move it,
write
move it.
heralds about his maneuvering.
Yeah.
So Joster will lead like a frontal charge. Nucket, you take the alchemist fire. Take it to the base of the siege weapon and light that ish up, you know? Just to burn it to the ground. When all of their attention turns there, we press on with the rookies and Joster. We close in around them. We destroy the siege engine. And that will get their attention.
Right.
What do you think, Collet?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Whatever you say, sir.
For the Legion. She looks a little pale on the horse though, because she doesn't know how to ride one normally. But when in Rome, right?
So
Group actions are good for her. She gets +1 dice.
So we have Nucket. I think I might be able to help you out here too,
Right.
because
Oh no.
it is Sir Draka who took cavalry. If the quartermaster has horses available,
We did.
and you're on a horse, you're mounted, you gain +1 dice when you maneuver while mounted.
Ooh.
Now, does that ability activate even if we're not actively playing Draka?
Oh, you asking me?
Yes.
I wish I was listening.
Okay, so we have a rookie. We have a soldier who's not being played but is present on the mission. His ability gives people who are mounted +1 dice to maneuver. Is that ability active even if he's not being played?
It says you gain +1 dice.
You
to
gain,
maneuver.
so he would get
He
+1
would have
dice.
got it.
Oh, okay.
But
Never
it
mind.
does
yeah.
help. Yeah. If the quartermaster has horses available, all members of your squad start with mounts.
Yeah, so it's like free horses
So
whenever
we
he's
all
around.
we can all say we have horses, but we don't get the free die.
Okay.
Now-
My bad.
Nope, that's still a question worth asking just to make sure. I've got to just find my villains.
You know, had if the answer was yes, that would be 6 dice.
That's why,
Still find a way to roll a 3.
that's why they.
But
Still find a
if the
way.
officer's running it, I think he's got the one where we can pull 6s. So if we get lucky enough to get
Yep.
even 2 6s and across the group anywhere, we're golden.
Okay.
Page is 220.
Pele does only have a point maneuver, but at least I have a point to maneuver.
Although functionally it will probably end up being 6 dice because we always have Nucket push because he takes 1 less stress.
Yeah, you can basically trade a stress for a die.
Exactly, you trade 1 stress of 2 stress.
Okay. So engagement roll?
Yes.
Okay. Could have
Risky
been worse.
position. It's about normal for us.
Putting these guys together as I didn't do it earlier.
But it makes sense thematically. It is a very risky thing we're doing. Just charge in. and
I
go
can get that
whack
to
'em.
desperate real quick. Don't worry. And that's when we do our best work.
Are we trading position for effect?
Immediately. Like, you have nothing to benefit. I don't care.
Is this is Nucket by himself in the beginning, right?
Uh-huh.
So Joster is leading like a frontal assault, just like smash in, gain all the attention. Nucket is slipping through and planting the alchemist fire at the base of the siege engine.
I have to ask, would that be a maneuver or would you spin it as something else?
I think that would be a maneuver to slip through unnoticed in your heavy armor.
But then he would take a move by himself to do wreck after that, I think.
Oh. Well, Nucket's a wrecker.
Yeah. He's got wrecking stuff. He's got the bonuses.
He has alchemist fire, he has oil, he has all the shit.
Yeah,
Yes,
so I think
one.
that's the plan. Nucket, you're on your own, but you know
We gotta
you're
get him there.
Yeah, you're the best we got, right?
Nugget has the equivalent of 10 loads.
Yes,
Nugget
he
is
does.
the hammerhead, and we're all the stick, just trying to get him there. Where's the earth-shattering kaboom?
All right, I just need to get one more thing. There he is. Excuse me. All right. That'll be good enough for now. Let's see if we can work some magic, guys. All right. Thanks for putting up with my not preparing earlier. All right, so what did we roll? A 4, so that's starting in a risky position when the action starts. So, Officer Joster and the Shattered Lions are leading a charge. It becomes very apparent soon that you're on the field coming in. The crows scramble. Some of the riders disengage to block your path. But the thing keeps moving as it's probably, 50, like 80 yards from the wall. Getting where it's effectively to be used, right? And you're leading the charge. Is this the first action for you? Is this
So yeah, I'm cool with that. So we're on horseback.
Yep.
Charging in. And as those first kind of rotters and maybe even crows like turn and try to like stop us. I imagine they're not in any sort of formation. So it's very much like a cavalry charge where we're just like running through and cutting the first ones down, before they're able to gain any sort of like defensive position.
Yeah.
And
yep. Okay.
like we want to dive like straight into the center of their ranks, like try to break through the center immediately. I kind of like the Battle of Cannae, if you're into like Hannibal and the Romans, like smash through that center rank and have them try to flank us on all sides, like right into the belly of the beast. So if that makes sense.
Yeah, this is a group action for you and Soundwave's Ghost.
Yep.
And then little Nugget is gonna sneak in after and do his own thing. Is that how it goes? So we're in a risky position because it doesn't take long before you are smashing in the middle and are going to be surrounded. But that's not so much because it goes according to plan, but the doctor's on the field. All the crows are silent. They never make a sound, and they start to scatter. He stands out with his white crow's plague mask as opposed, to the black ones, and all the rest are all black. And you see him. This is the one that took down Black Standing Storm, your old scout, down in the caves when you rescued Ether Magnus. So there's probably a little bit of bitterness here. I think Officer Joster was actually on that mission.
I believe they was.
Didn't Officer Joster take Black Standing Storm?
Funnily enough, Joster, the Shattered Lions, and Nugget were all on that mission when it happened. Because it was the first session I was in when I played Nugget.
Oh my goodness. I just got goosebumps. It's so true. Yep, and I think I think Joster took the bow of Black Standing Storm.
Yes. He doesn't use it, but he took it as like a keepsake,
Oh,
it's a relic of the...
Does he not? He doesn't have it now? I'm just asking.
No, I mean,
for coolness
as
factor.
cool as I think that would be, there's no... I didn't
Mechanical.
continue to play that, so, I don't think he has it.
Let's say you knew you were gunning for the doctor. It's fine. Rule cool applies. But okay. All right. I'm just trying to get my bearings here as you charge in. So it's risky. So what you want is a distraction so that Nugget has an easier time. So it's almost like a setup group action. I feel like if you're successful, you can give him an extra bump in his effect.
Okay.
So, but you are risky, and I guess that would be standard because you're making a lot of noise, drawing a lot of attention, a lot of danger too. So if it goes wrong, I mean, you have, let me just put it to you this way. You have like 80 riders. It's a full company. Their scale is like size 6.
Yeah.
The crows are like a medium group. There's 6 to 10 of them. They're all threat 1s here, but their scale's like 3. And then you have the doctor, who's different. He's a scale of 1, but he's a threat 3 on his own. So you got a lot of enemies around you. So there you go. It looks like a group action.
So we delve straight into the, like I said, the belly of the beast.
Boom. I know.
And-
right in.
Joster's taking his heavy load, which means he takes a battlefield banner. And already I'd like to trade position for effect and have, if you're cool with it, the Tentari banner, like flying over his shoulder, tattered in the wind.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, of
What
course.
does the banner do?
It's just badass,
It's
and
just
it draws more
awesome.
attention to us.
Yeah. The Tentari banner's thing is it lets us soak up some deaths before it loses morale. But in this instance, it's the rule of cool.
And it's just like our little icons in each corner of the overlays. You can see here, that's the raven or the crow with the infinity symbol on it, on the field of green.
I actually made the Tentari banner in Photoshop.
You
I
did.
think I put it in a while ago.
You did. It's probably somewhere. I don't know if I pinned it.
It's pinned. It's pinned.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you should. Oh, there it is. Dang.
Yep.
Oh. Wow.
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 Wow. Wow.
Look at that.
No
I'm
one but
looking
us
right
can
at
see
it.
it.
And
It's
got the infinity-
amazing.
I can't-
Everyone should be able to see this. It's beautiful.
I just can't share it right now. I don't have time. So you're gonna have to use your imagination, folks.
Yeah. It's epic.
It's
epic.
It is freaking epic. All right, so no. I don't want to remove that. No, stop. Okay. All right. Sorry. Where was I? Lost, as always.
Position for effect. Puts it to
Desperate.
desperate. Great, right?
Great. That's on you. So sound
Okay.
waves will roll for the rookies and himself.
Would this be a skirmish or a maneuver?
You tell me,
Um,
because that would actually determine your level of effects to start out with. So it'd be risky. Mr. Grumpets, hello. Thank you for the asterisks.
I
They're not
think it's a
sent, okay.
skirmish. I think we're like running through. We're cutting people down actively, and
Okay.
their cries, their the screams of agony of deathing again.
I get.
Re-death.
I think
Re-death.
the Rotters probably growl a little bit, but the crows are silent. But yes, okay.
Yeah.
So you're trying
The
to.
snapping of bone and sinew that has long since.
All right.
passed
So you want to do. Okay. So in that case, what you want to happen is to draw a crowd. So really, I'll still say it was standard effect. It's not so much ticks you're doing to them as giving Nugget better effect to get through. So we're gonna go desperate. Great. For both of you rolling as a group action.
and it's skirmish.
Yep.
Skirmish.
Okay, perfect. So I get +1 die for rolling group actions.
Thank you for everybody who's joining us tonight. OX2, Alien Gathering, Fantasy Animal Vegan. I love that one. Mr. Crumpets, True Delbert. If I said it right.
Already got
Oh,
that success.
got a
Give me another 6.
Oh,
But it wasn't a fail, so there's no stress. Everybody mark XP. Don't forget to mark XP for your desperate roll.
yep. The prowess is ticking up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's the best one I've heard in a while there. Fantasy Animal Vegan. I enjoy eating fantasy animals, though, so I am not a vegan myself. But they are all fantasy, so I'm not really eating them. Okay, whatever. Shut up with
Hiya.
this. Continue. All right. I got little ticks going for them. I'll have to figure out where my clocks are. I don't know what it would be for so many of these guys. But I'm going to put a tick on each clock for the crow and the rotter. So there's, the rotters, there's only 80 of them. So I guess their clock is an 80 clock. No, just kidding. I'm going to say it's probably like a 12 clock because there's a lot. And the crows will probably be like an 8 clock. But that's just tip of the iceberg is what that should represent. It's a couple crows get hit and deflate. A bunch of riders get smashed and knocked down. And suddenly the movement of the thing doesn't stop as the crows scramble, but they do redirect and focus on you. And the doctor is there, but does nothing. Oh, does he? He is a wait, no. He's an infamous. He's not a lieutenant. So he's not quite ready to drive fear into your heart or strike first, but it does move suddenly and disappear in amongst the battlefield in amongst the rotters and the other crows, you can't see it anymore. Nuck it.
Right. Okay. So, would you say that this is a maneuver?
Well, you tell me if you would say it was a maneuver. It sounds
Well,
like that's what you just want to
I'd
get.
say that I need to use my shit for this, right? And I am very good at maneuver, and therefore, this is a maneuver.
What is your goal? Is it not only to draw close, but also to set this thing on fire a little bit, or what?
Like drawing close, sort of lob a bundle of the alchemist fire, the oil, light it, and then get out as quickly as possible.
That'll start it. Okay. Now there are ticks we have to do, and I'm gonna go ahead and roll Shreya being a distraction. It says okay. I'm gonna have to look at this again. It says to make a clock for Shreya being a distraction. So I guess if her clock fills, she's no longer a distraction for you. So,
Which just means Blighter is like gonna be coming in.
yeah. So I guess what I really have to do is roll Blighter's dice, not Shreya's.
We've already taken out one broken. What's another?
You know it.
Honestly, we've already taken out Blighter. We've already beat Blighter before.
True that.
Not as thoroughly as we did Render. We rendered Render. Oh no.
Oh,
Oh,
heaven.
the devil in the details.
Sorry.
Blighter's nothing to worry about.
She might have. Maybe she has her lieutenants with her.
She went soft.
So that would be 5 ticks.
5 ticks
It's
and how many tick
critical.
clock?
Yeah. You know what? But she's causing distractions, so no extra big baddies are coming in right now, all right?
Shreya,
Yeah.
we need you. We need you forward. She just goes gung ho, like more so than Josker did.
Yep.
Yep. The commander's like, that's not what I said.
What did you say? You said
Whatever.
to be a distraction. That's what she's doing. And now she's
don't die.
she's not being hurt necessarily. She's just not pressing and holding them back as much. She attacks and she.
It's fine. Move on.
They're
It's somebody else's turn.
It's Nucky's turn. I'm just saying though, she does her thing, but they are seeing through the ruse, and they're like, oh, we have to mount an attack back on the Legion, get past her, so she's not gonna be able to hold them off quite as long. Nucket, maneuver's fine. You're obviously starting risky, and I would say you have a limited effect because this is a big, huge thing, and you're throwing a little bit of alchemist fire to get it started.
Right. Does the setup not help with that?
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot about that. Thank you. So we'll move it up to standard because it really gives you a clear angle to get in there. Actually, I'm going to give you great effect because they moved position. They really want gung-ho.
Right.
So I'm going to be nice. I shouldn't, but I will. I'll give you risky great.
Woo.
Now you can make
I think I'm instead going to go for a desperate extreme.
I knew it. I think that's...
baited you pretty good.
I think that sounds pretty good. Let's see if there's
Yeah.
devil's bargains in the mix. One would be that you lose your horse. There's one. Another would be that they keep rolling this thing ahead anyway and it gets a little bit closer to the fort. That's another devil's bargain.
Yeah, I don't need any of that devil's bargains because I'm going to push.
Oh, okay. He's going to push. You're going to take 2 stress.
So, well, 1 stress because I lose a stress when I go. But here's the question: the area that I'm going into, do they outnumber me?
Yeah, I think about 120, 140 to
Yeah.
1.
One.
So they would both outnumber and outgun me. So I would clear 1 stress and take an additional dice to maneuver.
Okay. Talking about gaming the system here. Yeah, see,
Like
he's really doing
like
what he's supposed to do.
Like I started him on that path, and this boy just took it all the way home. Isn't it weird?
All right, so you
Which
take
means that
1
Which
stress.
means I'm rolling, I think, 5 dice.
Sounds like 5 dice. And you don't forget to mark your stress.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, if that's where you're gonna go, then it's desperate extreme. And you should. Oh no! 6s. Ouch! Schnuck it. But it is a success. I'll mark the clock.
There is a success.
Mark that stress, sir.
Mark that one stress.
I'm not going to let you forget it ever. Now your clock is also half filled. So you got two things happening here because you're so outnumbered and outgunned. You do get through and you throw this huge bag up, and this is just, it's like I said, there's many horrors that have been attacked to this giant, battering ram. What's on steel wheels, right, as it gets up there, but it's also like unliving material that just kind of like rocks this thing itself, so they don't have to do anything when they get it there. Actually, the thing seems to be moving itself also as well, but the riders are just speeding it up. So as you light it on alchemist fire, it kind of just makes this horrific screech of a 1,000 disembodied voices. Well, not disembodied, really. 1,000 horrible unliving voices as they start to catch on fire, and it just takes off in the back right hind quarter. The back right, I would say, is where you approach this thing, is how I'm picturing it. And it sets that whole quarter on fire. But at this point, one of these ropey horror arms that's probably made of about 25 different people at one time comes out with a backhand and smashes you and hits you and sends you flying. So one, you're going to lose your horse. It's paced. It's gone. You can resist that. And another is you're going to take some severe level of harm, also, which you can resist and use armor on. All right.
Okay.
So this thing's got some scale on you.
Excellent.
Let's see. I think, buddy, this is a big, nasty thing, right? I think. Let's see. If it was a thing itself, it would probably be a threat 3, and its scale would probably be a 4. So, I don't want to say, just think you're dead. No, you're not dead. But
I'm not dead.
You're looking at level.
I'll be fine.
You're looking at level 7 harm.
Level 7 harm. God, that's bad, man. That's
Also,
bad.
you can
Jinky, Scoob. Sure
Design
this
Scoob,
time.
what are we gonna do?
I don't know, Scooby. It seems awful dangerous. I don't know, Raggy.
Oh, Raggy.
Alas, the brothers.
Right, it's fine. So I'm going to
You can do it.
resist
They
the
can-
horse being pasted.
You gonna resist that? All right.
Do you get any bonus dice for that, or is it just a flat?
Just prowess, straight up. Oh, he clears the stress.
I am stressless.
You deflect the blow, and you're like, I would never let you die.
No.
Frisky,
No,
you're my
you
favorite.
Tarquin.
5.
Joaquin Phoenix, my favorite horse.
All right, and then I can resist the other one being pasted, right?
Yes, you might have to call in a lot of your armor and resistance, and
Yep.
they can help you
You-
piece it together.
Your
probably.
resist takes it down by 1. Which you do, but you just don't get a critical.
6.
So it's reduced by 1, so it's now at a 6.
Okay, but what about the stress?
There's no stress on a 6.
Well, right, I just don't get stress. Excellent. Right, so it's level 6 harm
Mm-hmm.
using the shield. It's a fine shield. Does that do anything else?
It just takes down to a
Fine
5.
shield.
Shield's always a 1. The fitted heavy armor, however, is 2.
So what's the point of it being a fine shield over than?
You
Rather
could
than just
do
being a shield.
things fancy. It's not much difference.
I don't know. It doesn't give you an extra armor, which I almost think it should, but that's
It should, yeah.
It's not what it's for. It's just
But even the fine heavy armor doesn't. It's only the fitted armor that gives you an extra armor.
Right. Anyway. So yeah. So we are on 7 down to 6 down to 5. Fitted heavy is down to
4,
4,
and then down to 3.
and then down to 3.
Which is bad, but you do.
It's very bad.
Do you have the one that makes your harm 1 level down?
I do, so it's only
-1 die for you.
Minus
But
1
you
dice.
can't take another level 3 harm.
I think your injury is like horror slap or battering rammed, whatever. You get clever with it.
I am the wall.
pip slapped. Pip slapped.
Pimp slapped. Okay, I like it.
He's literally a wall.
Now keep in
and he was taking
mind
it up.
that was bad, and you can't take another shot like that. However, you just took that thing. If we're looking at clocks here, and I can pop it back, you've weakened it. You've done what you needed to do so far. Destroying the siege weapon will bring all the boys to the yard, and some will say it's better than mine. Anyway, whatever. Don't sing, Lucas. So you've already accomplished Nugget in 1 turn, half of what you need to do. However, as this thing slaps you and rings your bell, your helmet comes off, your shield is ripped away, your armor comes loose and it's on you, but it's not functional because of the way it's hanging. But you manage to you push yourself into the arm so that it hits you and does not hit your horse. It almost lifts you off the horse, but you hold onto the reins and pull yourself back down, high-ho silver away, and you're still riding. Nice work. Whew. Should I say,
God.
Joster? Kalea, you're in the middle. You see that thing light up. Nugget gets smacked. You're like, oh, he's a greasy spot. Nope. Nugget rise forward. So, anyways. Hey, Fitbit. 10,000 steps. That's weird. I've been sitting here this whole time. I do flail around like a Muppet, though, so I guess that probably helps.
Yes, you do. Yes.
I'm ahead. I'm nips tried up. I'll be back in a second.
All right. I'm going to roll a fortune roll.
Hey, baby.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's much better than the last one. I'll take that.
Yeah, that's only 2. Then this will get you guys to get through your rounds. So, Shreya is slashing and hacking. You see several horrors fall into her. Well, there's no infamous to be knocked around because the doctor's out here somewhere with you guys. And maybe the infamous comes in. You see like a green miasma of smoke fill the air. And you're like, uh-oh. That's over back that way to where Blighter is. And so, but you're in the middle fighting for your life as the undead surround you. Crows are coming in. They're pushing rotters at you. They're trying to come in and cut your horses out from underneath you with their long, sharp knives. What do you guys do?
Any sign of the doctor?
No.
Okay. We are going to form like a circle formation facing outward, right?
Okay.
Surrounded on all sides, and just well, I suppose we're still horsed, aren't we?
Yep.
So I think we form like a circle, like a reverse archer's circle, like a horse archer circle, where we're on the inside and just revolving around, trying to like cut on the outside and keep them at bay as they try to stab in.
Okay.
So we're all, like following each other in a circle, slashing about.
Okay. Like you're all going clockwise or counterclockwise and just continuously moving.
Normally, you trap people inside the circle, but we're trapping them all outside of the circle.
Yep. No, that's good.
They're two are trapped.
Using the horses and our weapons as weapons.
All right.
Yeah.
If something gets in front of a horse, it typically gets knocked down.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Unless it's something really big.
So are you still trying to
we're hoping
distract,
Action, skirmish.
skirmish, or
Good
maneuver?
back.
It sounds
I'm
like,
good
but yeah, you going to go skirmish is fine with me.
Yeah.
You leave.
I don't know if we're aiding anymore. Now we're just like trying to keep our heads above water, right?
Yes, and I will tell you that you are starting in a desperate position since you moved it to that last time.
Yeah.
And your effect, whereas, what are you trying to do? Just trying to defend yourselves?
Yeah. Hold the line for now. Buy Nugget more time. He's got to deal with himself. We're not aiding him anymore. We're just doing our part of the mission.
Okay,
More
so
so
you're
than
still
anything.
you're still counting on him to throw more fire and keep burning. Even if
For
he's
now.
Well, he
Yeah.
only had one, but
yeah, that's I'm just gonna bring it up. So it's burning, but it's not defeated yet, right? You have wrecking kits. You guys have alchemist fire. So I don't know if you guys have to jump into that battle as well, or if you're just leaving it for
We
Nugget.
aren't yet.
Okay.
We're going to sit and wait. We have faith in Nugget for now.
Okay.
For now, we have faith in Nugget.
So it's a
Man, that doesn't sound too great.
so so it's a
for the moment.
so hold the line. So I think you're at desperate limited because you're just gonna keep them back a little bit, and they're gonna keep coming at you because there's a lot of them.
That is fine with me. We'll hold that line.
So what are we doing, boss?
Remind me to make sure that that user marked his desperate XP when he gets back, and you guys will also mark another one.
So
Don't forget.
desperate limited skirmish. Okay, I got us a partial. Take us home. Take us home, Cole.
Hmm.
Oh,
We'll take it.
Oh.
we're consistent at least.
Mark that XP.
I did. She's almost ticked up. She's got one more desperate action. Skirmish, shoot, maneuver. I'm good to go. She's almost got twos and everything. I think skirmish will get a three.
I think this is gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt a
Yeah.
lot, but you know what? Your new biggest fan just jumped in. Fantasy Animal Vegan just cheered 500 bits. But that's
He said upgrade that enemy.
That's it's 100 Squad Devils bargains, which are free pushes plus new enemy or a new complication. So
Oh, yeah, but he meant it. He said he upgraded the enemy. He intended it for upgrade.
upgrade.
Yeah.
Oh, for the enemy axe.
He unicorn dabbed. He's
Oh, I was not looking. Okay. So he's like our new Tice the Betrayer. Help the GM
Yep.
Yeah.
crush the players.
just kill us all. It's cool. It's fun.
User, did you mark your desperate XP last time?
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure. It was gonna get bad before this, but now it's bad. It's bad. It's bad. I don't want to go too crazy without and just murder everybody. But I think what's going to happen is just to lay it across the field. It's going to be level 5 harm for everybody, which means Joster takes level 5, Cole takes level 5, and all the rest of the squad's going to die.
Collet, yeah, is a rookie too.
But
because
you're
I went
playing.
heavy, I can-
You're playing.
But since I
Cole.
went heavy, I can actually use the armor and shield to reduce it down to a 3 and try to resist.
So when I lead a group action, I improve our scale by 1 level.
Okay. Level. What did I say? Level 5 harms. So level 4 harms for everybody.
Which still kill rookies, unfortunately.
So 4 rookies, 4, which is still all the rest of them, unless.
And can I resist for?
Can you resist for the rookies?
Yes. Can Joster step in and resist for them?
I think and I don't know how it's worked if I've done it right, but I think I've allowed this before, where I allow someone to jump in and to either take the damage or resist for them, but that your resistance rolls and armor still have to come at their own cost, right?
Yeah.
He cheered 300 bits more. Thank you again. Give Commander Marshal and Spymaster a free push. So that gives you guys. Hold on one second.
3 free.
You got 3 of the first level, 2 free pushes, and 2 for me. So in the bank. So you guys got 2 free pushes to use now with that one. Thank you very much. And I know the players appreciate it too. But Joshua, yes, you'll have to use. You obviously have to take care of yourself on top of rolling for them. What do you want to resolve first?
I'll resolve the rookies first. Gotta worry about the rookies first.
I think you have to take the damage instead of resist, but I've been doing the resist, so I'll let it fly because you can only take so much stress. So either way, eventually it's gonna get to you. So all right.
That's what you think.
Oh right, all right. Roll a prowess for the rookies / soldiers, so the extra ones don't die.
Okay.
No.
Easy. What's next?
Oh, okay, sir. Level 4 harm for you.
Okay. Can I resist that too?
You can. That's a separate resistance roll. Yes, you can to get it down to a 3.
What's next?
So that's 1 stress.
I'll use my armor and my shield on that.
So you went down to a 3, then you went down to 2, and then a
2.
1.
And you know what? I'll use both my armor.
Wait, so you resisted level 4 down to 3, right?
Yep. I'll use my shield. I have a
To go to a 2.
fine shield, and then I have heavy armor, so I can use the armor and then the heavy, right?
Yep. So you use everything to completely negate the damage.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I hope you enjoyed your one and done, because this next round's gonna get real.
I'm not gonna roll another. I'm not gonna roll another partial.
Oh my
Everything's
goodness.
gonna be 6s from here on out.
It's gonna be like
I feel like you guys
5, 6s. It'd be great.
should have probably taken level 7 harm because of what you're surrounded by, but I thought 5 was good. I don't know. I'm getting real nervous for you guys. All right, Cole.
Cole's going to resist, of course, because any harm above 2 is scary for her.
Mm-hmm. She is still a rookie.
Yep.
She a tough rookie though.
Wait a minute. Why is there so many dice there? That
'Cause
is
she
one too
gets-
many- Oh, I got the +1 resist, and I still put it in the roller. So the last die is not supposed to be there.
Okay, so she cleared a stress if she had any.
She did not.
So she takes
Golly,
so she
that's a
takes
lot of dice.
level 3 harm.
I put at least 1 point in prowess for everything, and then I gave her the. She's got bold, so she can resist 1 die extra for bold. So I gotta unclip that. All right. So then she spends her armor and her shield to reduce it 2 more.
So she takes level 1 harm.
Mm-hmm.
Level 1 harm, which is probably stabbed, slashed, or bit.
Wounded by the circle of death.
That was a little over the top for level 1 harm, but sure, okay, you know, whatever.
She was just wounded. She wasn't killed by the circle of death. They're dead. They are dead.
Oh man, it's getting pretty. Oh man, we're right at the end of our night too, aren't we? Oh my goodness.
Pretty dicey.
I guess we have time for. Well, this is probably a good time to end, but Nuck it.
Right.
It's
Are you-
burning, but it still has a ways to go. Do you have any supplies left in which to burn
I
with?
have oil.
So you used your alchemist fire.
I bought oil. Yeah,
You have a wrecking kit too, don't you?
I do.
Fine
It
wrecking
has
kit.
oils in it too.
So between using a wrecking kit and oil, you still have at least 2 more shots at trying to destroy this thing. And all you need is 5 ticks. And no.
Well, 3 more shots because it's 3 uses of the oil.
Oh. So with a wrecking kit, you have like 4. You can do this. You just have to not roll failures. And let me remind you that you're probably still in a desperate position.
And you're down a
Right.
die.
He doesn't
I,
take the effect for the level 1.
I don't take the so I'm not down a die.
Okay.
Yep, he ignores level 1 harm.
Yes, but the level 3 harm.
Yeah,
level 3
bumps
harm.
down to a negative
It's,
one,
yeah.
minus 1d.
Yep.
So you're down a
It's
die.
very sad. It's very sad. Could
So now
I
you only roll, like,
maneuver around to the other side and maybe do this?
Yes, I think that would be fine.
Thank you. Thank you. You're a good man. You're a good man.
This is, I guess, desperate for. I guess desperate. Now we got it going. I feel like you're in there because you're inside. They're drawing the crowd, so I'll say desperate standard.
I can't trade position for effect on this, can I?
You're already at desperate.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. It's very sad.
I would love to say it's risky, but you kind of put yourself in the desperate position that when you traded for that effect. So you're kind of still there unless you get yourself out first. You could maneuver
Nah.
away so you could recharge, but we'll make.
Yeah, we're gonna go for it.
This is gonna be the last roll of the night. Then we're gonna see what happens. This could be what breaks.
Make it a good one.
So
Just roll 4 6s.
So you are going to maneuver. Are we looking at any devil's bargains? Any pushing?
I mean, can I use the free push that was awarded and Devil's Bargain? Was it one or the other?
can't both push and devil's bargain. But if
Alright,
you want to
well.
use one of the free pushes and no one else cares, then you definitely can.
Does
It
anyone care?
activates in it, and if you use the push, it's just like you pushed yourself. So you will get all the effects of whatever maneuvers you have that say, if you
Yes.
push, this happens.
Well, I only have my over the top, which if
Yeah, I
ever
was
there was a
thinking-
time,
That's Bellig and Gyox that do all those silly shenanigans.
Are you,
if he survives this, he's most definitely getting the potency in melee combat. If being very dominant word here.
so are you
He can
gonna
do
take that free push then?
Uh-huh.
All right,
Like
so
spends one free push.
so that
So
gives you
it's up 2 dice, down 1 dice.
yes. So desperate, standard. I think that's about it unless you have anything else.
No. That's me, Deb. That's me gone.
That's a success, first of all. Let me mark it. The clocks are running even here with Shreya and this.
Nice knowing you, Nucket.
It was.
Yep. Earth-shattering kaboom.
So you rush around to the other side. Do you rush around the south side to the other hindquarter, or to the north
Yeah,
side to the
sure.
front right? So you burn it.
Round,
Go ahead.
round the back to the other hindquarters so that it can, keep the fire burning.
All right. Poor Lucas feels bad, but he shouldn't. That was so you go around and you light it up. It's not quite as effective because the oil is not as good as the alchemist fire, but it does stick and it does begin to burn. I feel like everybody just got really sad all of a sudden. Don't.
My boy.
Nucket was on the first mission.
Lucky was on Lucky
Was he?
was my boy. Yeah.
Yeah, yes. You are doing an amazingly important mission, and you are the Legionnaire of you are a Legionnaire among Legionnaires. So, here's what's going to happen. You are a threat to yourself, right?
Right.
So threat 3, that's off by 1. And it's desperate, so this is a level 4 harm. You have a chance. And this is, well, maybe. Unless you've used everything.
You have to
You can
resist.
still resist.
That'll get it down to a level 4,
right.
which will still kill him.
No, he's at a level 4. Because
But
what
he already
happens...
has a level 3.
He already has level 3.
Unless someone else takes damage or finds a way to narrate it, here's what happens. The doctor, who's been hiding, as you set that ablaze, has been hiding up in the horde, like the pieces and all the moving parts, comes out. These 2 long knives, like a foot long each, comes down from the air, silent and deadly, on top of behind you on the horse, and just sinks these 2 long knives down through your collarbone area, just ending you, and just.
Good. So, what level harm did you say it was?
4.
4. Right. So resist down to level 3, and then could I maybe have used anchor to then be 1 higher?
Well,
You can use
that at the
anchor as
start.
armor, can't you?
No, it ups
No,
his.
that's a different thing.
The massive anchor, it can essentially even the odds when you face off against larger. It ups his scale. The default use is up his scale.
Okay, all right. This would be something that you normally would announce before, but if you wanted to spend your one and only use of anchor, that would up your scale enough to basically make it a level 3 harm, which you can
And
then
resist
resist down to a level 2. Only keep a Nucket alive for 1 more turn this one time, but you're going to have to use that anchor. I will allow it.
Yeah. They get a anchor. What does grit do?
You shouldn't have grit.
Yeah, it's weird.
I have grit
Oh, he
for
has
some
grit from
reason.
being a soldier.
Because he started as a rookie.
Oh.
Remember?
Yeah, so it doesn't go away. So mark your anchor, and you're gonna take
Right.
level 2 harm, which is stabbed or whatever from the doctor's needle, as he comes down and just stabs into you. But you gotta make a resistance roll for prowess. I'm too nice.
You are.
But Nucket
Oh,
Very
grit's
nice.
from a soldier.
one stress.
Grit allows you to add +2 dice to a resistance roll, but must be spent before you roll.
Nah, well, it's fine.
So the doctor comes down. He's on the back of your horse. He stabs into you, deflecting off some armor. You resist by by flexing. So his daggers can only go in like 3 inches, which is still, incredibly excruciatingly painful. As you've been stomped, stabbed, and now pimp slapped. Stomped is from before, but Nucket is once again at death's door as the doctor's riding on his horse, also stabbed into him. Nucket's probably howling in pain. Maybe he's gritting his teeth together, burying it, and riding up towards the front of this nasty thing. Meanwhile, the rest of the Shattered Lions and the Joster are still riding the circle. They've taken a huge beating as crows and riders have come in. They've dropped tons of them, but they've kept themselves alive just barely. Well, I didn't mark more ticks, but they've taken a little bit down. A couple pegs off these guys. What was that last time? Was that standard effect or limited?
Limited.
Okay. And they're still riding. Shreya is fighting, but they are seeing past it. And Black Rotting Gale, with that miasma coming out of the machine that was once upon you, are now undead with all kinds of machine bits on them, is looking, as we see, like from behind it, it's just like puffing out this green smoke, looking for Yaks, probably. And then starts to take off to avoid Shreya. And we see this other woman, a human woman, living, that stands by Blighter's side. So macabre, so strange, so pale and quiet. Small compared to Blighter. And she just looks at Blighter up like this. Blighter looks down and nods. And she slips off into the shadows. And we kind of come back on the scene to see it still going on. And that's where we're going to close for tonight. I thought this would be a simple assault mission, which I threw together in just a moment, but it ended up being kind of crazy. My name is Lucas. This is Lucas Chief Writing. This has been the Band of Blades, the Immortals, and it's been a pretty good, fun battle, I think, so far. I feel like the other guys are sweating just a little bit. They can tell you how they feel. I'd like to say thank you for the subscriptions and the follows and the cheer bits tonight. Fantasy Animal Vegan just changed the title a little bit. Whether that's good or bad, hey, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Anyways, my name is Lucas. Come back on, I believe, Sunday, but Don will tell you more about that. And then with us next Tuesday, same time, as we conclude Action Movie World, powered by the Apocalypse game about making bad 80s action movies, as we are going to conclude. Well, this is what it says. As we're going to conclude our 80s movie.
The Crooked Line is one of the best ones ever.
Our movie called The Crooked Line, which is the cop movie, part 4. Be there. You can still catch up on everything going on. Action Movie World, powered by the Apocalypse, making those awesome, bad 80s action movies. And that'll finish up as we come back to Robotech on Tuesdays. Next week, Thursdays, we alternate. Next week, Thursday, will be Dungeons & Dragons. So, for those of you who are new here tonight, Fantasy Animal Vegan and anybody else, 2 weeks until we come back to play this game again. Just put it on your schedule. But we're here every Thursday with an alternating game. Tuesdays have been our game in Gallimaufry, where we've played lots of short series games. That's going to come to a close. We're going to finish Robotech, the Macro Saga, which we started a couple years ago, but we're going to finish the series in 5 sessions or less. And then, well, Dan will just tell you about what comes after that. So I'll pass it over to him, the birthday boy, right now, as we do our shoutros and we exit up out of here. All right, Soundwaves.
All right, I am Soundwave's Ghost. I got the honor of playing a commander and a random rookie because I seem to survive longer as a rookie. That's a weird thing that happens. I roll really well until I'm playing a specialist. Anyway, as he said, following the amazing Robotech game that a lot of people have asked when it's going to finish, and over my friend's AP Gaming Reels channel, I will be starting Fallout. The RPG created by Modifius, is mostly based off Fallout 4 world, but it's supposed to be a setting agnostic, but they had that as their source material when they made the game. That's how long ago they started working on it, and that took license hell for it to get done. But that's looking forward to 3 to 4 players. Of course, real life might get interfere, but I'm trying to make sure I got a game that if 3 are there, 3 can play. because most of it's going to be character driven. I have a big story in the background, just like the games do, but the players aren't required to play that story. The story can run by itself. It's going to kind of like a band of Blades in the Dark. There's going to be quotation marks clocks running in the background that they can interact with because I have a calendar system put in. And after that, I don't know what's going to happen because we're probably going to come back Robotech, but I've also got the One Ring, let's see, Power Rangers, G.I. Joe. What was this other one? Anime 5E. I have a lot of new games that have dropped thanks to Kickstarters that are all options for me to start working on after I get Fallout kicked off, because I've spent an inordinately long amount of time trying to get Fallout where I was happy with it. And I realize I will never be happy with it, so I'm just going to run it and then have fun. Anyway,
That's right. That's all you got to do.
As usual, thanks guys for playing with me, and Lucas, thanks for letting me play. I hope everyone had a good time, and I'll pass it down to User.
I never have anything to say, and in these sorts of shout throws, I don't know why people ever throw to me. It's always, thank you for being here. I have nothing else to say. So I'm going to throw it back
You're
to
the
Dom.
buffer. I overtalked.
Yeah.
Dom doesn't talk very much, but you talk none, barely. So you're the buffer. You kind of ease us into. Dom used to have a really fun game he'd plug, so he's the medium. So
Speaking of,
Yeah. Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Dom. I'm one of the server hobos around here. You can catch me here every other Thursday for Band of Blades. You can catch me next Tuesday as we wrap up our action movie world cop movie. I play Nick Rose in that, and I just found out the big twist to my character, that my dad, who mysteriously disappeared, I thought he was murdered, was actually the bad guy the entire time. We'll see how that all shakes out on Tuesday. But you can also catch me this coming Sunday at the Roman Chiaroscuro, our 19th century historic fiction. Yeah, I think it's definitely the right way to call it, kind of game. It's during the Italian unification when all of the kingdoms became the country of Italy, and it's really cool. The GM is a Roman born and raised. He still lives there, and I'm actually going to visit him in a couple of weeks. Very excited about that. But the places we visit in the game are historical, and at least to my knowledge, faithfully recreated. The people are as well. So it's a ton of fun. Come check us out on Sundays at 2:00 in the afternoon Central Time to see what that is. It's Monster of the Week. It's great. Come and check it out. You won't regret it. Otherwise, if you ever want to play with me, IGM one-shots rather prolifically, but I'll be taking the next month off for vacation reasons and everything. You can join me on my Discord server. I just posted it in the Twitch chat. It's called Dom's Dungeon Tavern, where I run my campaigns in one-shots. All Dungeon World and Dungeon World adjacent games, things that are meant to be very punchy, quick, a stark contrast to Band of Blades. Not saying I don't love Band of Blades, because I do love the crunch. I can only take so much of it, however. I'll pass things on back to Lucas.
on the spot. Okay, well, thank you.
Lucas.
Thank you. Band of Blades is getting near. It's coming to a close. They only have a couple more locations left, and then this game will be over. But we're going to keep rotating every 2 weeks because I talked to my Dungeons & Dragons people. They want to keep it every other week, which means the game in Gallimaufry that's Tuesday is going to move to Thursdays and just be alternating weeks, which means I'll be having more GMs, more short-run campaigns or short one-shot, two-shot games, and more players. So if you are interested in GMing, or if you're interested in playing, or if there's a game you want to see played, let me know. I know that both Dom and Sound will probably be running something.
Oh, I've got something. I've got 3 or 4 somethings.
Exactly.
Powered by the Apocalypse is a weird, just cornucopia.
Oh, yeah.
That just spilleth over with the weirdest things, and yet it's
good.
Chef's kiss.
It's going to be kind of like what Dom's group does, where they're going to rotate the GM chair. We're going to do the same thing. I have Into the Dark, which is a Blades in the Dark, a Forge in the Dark game. I'm really looking forward to running that. And I want to also play the Warren, which is about being rabbits.
Oh, I want to play that one bad.
Oh, yeah. It's just about being rabbits and surviving in a world that is against
Everything
rabbits.
wants to eat you.
Isn't that the really old one that came out when RPGs were first created? Everyone thinks it's really cute, and then
No.
you go into the Predator v Prey system, you just die.
It's similar. It's based off of Watership Down.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to go
Nothing
watch
sad-
it. Don't go watch it if you haven't seen it already. Don't go looking at it.
Nothing
Just
sad
read a
ever
review.
happens in Watership Down.
Read a review first, and that will tell you what you need to know whether or not you want to watch it.
I will not. I will cry. Anyways,
I
and then I also want to find some more Call of Cthulhu. Those are the things I want to do. So we have lots of stuff coming up. Join the Discord if you want to be a part of it in any way, shape, or form. I'm always looking for more GMs, more players, and more games. So
and Alien RPG's possibly going to come back.
Oh,
too,
yeah,
'cause
we
I'm
do-
getting a new module eventually when they
We-
finally approve it.
do you have a new scenario that's actually there's one out right now that we haven't played yet, right?
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about.
Okay.
It hasn't. The Foundry table hasn't been approved yet
Okay.
for the official one. So I paid for it, so I want that first. So it makes it easier for us to play and not have to spend 6 hours of my time putting a token on board.
Alrighty.
Initial setup for Foundry is the hardest part of Foundry. Once you get the setup going, I click a button and things happen.
So there you
That's
go.
why Fallout
We
took a
have
while.
a lot of stuff going on. So come
I'm
back.
excited for all of it.
Come back and join us soon. Happy birthday to Dan. And we'll see you guys all later. Have a good night. God bless. Good gaming. And yeah, come back next time. See you on Sunday. Peace.
Good morning.